What is the evolution pie chart? Evolution pie chart. What is it? Okay, after teaching evolution for a couple years, I wanted an easy, straightforward way of talking about the three main parts of evolution. So up here we have evolution itself, right? Biological change based on the environment. That's all it is. But how do we split up this whole biological change based on the environment thing? On the left, you have natural selection. That's Darwin's baby. Darwin gets the biggest piece of the pie. He came first. Natural selection, this idea of survival of the fittest, but dying off of the less fit, right? You need the sort of strong to survive and the ones that don't work as well to die off. And so the next generation is slightly better at dealing with their environment, right? That's Darwin. But Darwin didn't understand in 1859, when he published Origin of Species, he didn't understand exactly how the genes pass from generation to generation. He didn't really get that. Handful of years later, you have Gregor Mendel and his pea plants. Everybody remember Gregor Mendel and his pea plants, right? Gregor Mendel figures out heredity, how genes pass from one generation to the next. So you have genes are selected for in the environment, right? The better ones are selected for. And the parents with those genes pass them on to their kids. And Gregor Mendel explains how exactly that happens. Now, with that, and we're talking end of the 18th century, or 19th century, I should say, end of the 19th century, end of the 1800s. You have those two things, that's the evolutionary synthesis, right? These two things together, natural selection and heredity, the evolutionary synthesis. That means we understand evolution. Deal with it. Oh, wait, there's more. Notice how DNA gets a little piece here, a little tiny piece of the pie. You actually don't really even need DNA, but it's a nice little proof. What DNA is at the molecular level. How does life work, right? At the smallest of all levels. How does life pass on its genes over time? So this idea of the DNA helix. Watson and Crick, with special guest Rosalind Franklin, figured that out in the 1950s. So with these three main pieces, natural selection, how creatures are selected for or against in the environment. Then you have heredity, how creatures pass on their genes, how the successful ones pass on their genes. And then DNA, precisely how genes work at the molecular level. You have biological change based on environment, explained backwards and forwards, right and left. Thank you very much.